My novel is called Limbo. Flora Smyth is checking her math, tallying the money she needs to meet next month's payroll, stop the roof from falling in, pay the rent, and keep projects going. She scrutinizes the subtotals, then re-adds the numbers starting at the bottom if she previously started at the top. But stubbornly, the bottom line remains the same. Her office extension is ringing, but she ignores it. Her cell phone is off. Math requires her complete concentration. Doris, one of her staff, waves a hand in front of Flora's face and mouths, "Mr. Crenshaw on the phone for you. Says he's been calling you on your cell, but no answer." Flora is about to tell Doris that Mr. Crenshaw can leave a message, but he's one of the richest men in the Caribbean, and she has these nagging figures in front of her. So she picks up the phone. "Malcolm, I heard you on the radio this morning. I was very impressed. You sound so passionate." "Flora, why you don't answer your damn phone? Been calling you all morning." "Malcolm, my dear, it's that time of the month when I have to reconcile my books. And during such time, much like you during Carnival, I don't answer my phone. So what you think about this damn disaster?" Flora bites her tongue and does not ask which damn disaster. She can think of many disasters of which his personal tragedy is not anywhere near the top of the list. Instead, she consoles, her voice a calming purr. "What a thingy, how them could I do such a thing?" Then she adds a purely rhetorical question. "You know who did it?" Flora is pretty sure she knows who did it, and she knows Malcolm knows. The question is, would anyone actually identify who had done it? And would there be any consequences? The answer is most likely no. Jamaica is a small island. Everything might be known, but everything is off the record. You might end up at an event with someone you had named, and when confronted, what would you say to them? You would, of course, say, "No, man, wasn't me." "Well, we have some ideas, some leads. Damn truck driver who had first said where he had taken the sand now refuses to speak. Tell me." Uh-oh, she thinks, he's actually going to ask for a favor. "Is it possible to trace where the sand comes from? You know, like stealing..." Flora, who has a doctorate in earth sciences, her specialty mineralogy, interrupts his linguistic labor. "Yes, you can. Sand has DNA, just like you and me." "You mean if you get a sample, you can compare it to a sample from somewhere else and see if they match?" "Yes." Malcolm sighs. "Flora, you can do that?" "There are government agencies to do this sort of thing." "Yes, but I don't trust them." It is Flora's turn to sigh. "Tomorrow morning, we're doing some investigating. I want you to come and lend your expertise. We'll send the jet for you. We'll only take a few hours of your time, and you'll be back in tutus." "Lend, Malcolm? I cannot lend. I have to raise $3 million JA by the end of this month, or I have to lay off 2 of my staff, and I'll have to close the office because I can't pay the rent. And either way, I have to close the office because the roof is collapsing. Seems to me that her last request to you for a donation was met with a form letter saying, 'So very sorry.' Flora, calm the hell down. When did you request money from me? I don't recall seeing any requests from you." "Well, let's see. How about every year for the last 10 years? Okay, how much you need?" Flora looks at her columns. "I need 1.3 for the roof. I need 1.5 for salaries. I need 100,000 for rent and another 100,000 for utilities and such. This is Jamaican dollars. Our money don't worth nothing." We talk in the millions and billions, but don't take it seriously. "All right, I'll have my assistant Leslie Ann call you and make arrangements. She'll have a check waiting for you at the airport tomorrow, okay?" The sleek corporate jet holds 8, but there are only 4 people on board. When Flora asks for Malcolm, Leslie Ann informs her that Malcolm and his partners flew over the night before. In addition to Flora, Executive Director and CEO of Environment First, there are 3 members of the news media, 2 print journalists who specialize in environmental matters, Milton, Milt the Lion Brown, and Natasha Silo, and Mark Mackenzie, Jamaica's leading radio talk show host. The day is unusually clear. There's a high-pressure trough ahead of a tropical wave that no doubt will be more than waving when it arrives. There are no clouds, and it's already blazing hot at 7:30 in the morning. Flora is very well acquainted with her fellow travelers, and they exchange lively speculation as to who, what, where, and when, as well as deep skepticism as to how something of this scale would have happened unnoticed, and why a multi-million-dollar property would go unmonitored. Having left Kingston as they head north over the core of the island, Flora takes note of the scars, gouges, and disfigurement of the hills mined for bauxite, and the craters, pitched sludge lakes, and discarded bauxite roads. Milton, sitting across from her, eagerly photographs the ravages as they fly by. He is a senior statesman of journalism whose stories are always peppered with names dropped of all the prime ministers and leading figures he has known. Stories always begun many decades before to remind, in case anyone had not noticed, that he's the most senior, most knowledgeable, and most capable person among them. Milton and Flora, longtime co-conspirators, have been working together to stop the building of an alumina refinery in St. Anne, and some weeks before had been soundly booed and ridiculed at a public hearing packed with workers from the bauxite company. As they pass over the refinery site that is already being cleared for construction, they look at each other, shake their heads, and laugh. At the end of that meeting, a friend very highly placed in the Jamaican government took Flora aside and warned her about her safety. He told her that she needed to be aware that the bauxite company is owned by one of Russia's most dangerous oligarchs, and she needed to be careful. She performed her usual Iron Lady routine and acted both outraged and unafraid. But on the drive home, she found herself shaking uncontrollably. And went home, went straight to bed, continuing to shiver no matter how many covers she buried under. She could not sleep. Hadn't there been a Russian journalist who had been forced into hiding because he dared to write about a bauxite oligarch? Was it the same oligarch or a different one? Who could keep track of the various oligarchs? But really, what can they do to her? She has no horse to decapitate and place by her pillow. She has no pets at all, unless you count the croaking lizards behind her paintings, so animal torture is off the list. She has no children, currently no husband, and her ex-husbands have disowned her. She's an only child, and her parents are already dead, so she has no family they could hold hostage. They will have to come directly after her. Would they kill her outright, or make it look like an accident? For a while, she tried to remind herself to be like a pilot and examine her car before she got in. But she had no idea what she was to look for and stopped stooping down to look for bombs because the last time she had ripped the seam of her pants. The constant checking under the bonnet to see if various cables were intact led to her hands getting dirty, thus her clothes getting soiled and her face smeared with grease. She has given up on vigilance. Thank you. Those of you who can come tomorrow at between 3 and 4, Ingrid Prasad and I have a session talking about fiction and social issues. And all of our wonderful panelists also have events and readings. So please support Bocas, and thanks very much.